I've just come straight back from the London Green Fair, where I've taken rather a lot of footage which you're about to see in this very video, so stay tuned, okay? I've spoken to a whole load of stall holders and people who are promoting various different ideas. Some of them are directly relevant to what I'm talking about in this particular video blog. Some of them are a little left field, but basically stay with the whole video. I'm sure you're going to get a great quantity of entertainment as well as some more information and perspective. I suppose the main reason that I've done this and I've strung all of these things together into one big video is just to demonstrate that green ideas, environmental technology, also off-grid ideas are steadily becoming more and more part of the mainstream. And as such, these are things that we all need to become more familiar with, and to see the different ways in which people are using this technology for the purposes of essentially saving the planet and saving people, okay? So I hope you enjoy what you're about to see. This is from the London Green Fair, alright? And it's wonderful. Something tells me I'm vaguely in the right place.
You'd be able to pick up a big lot, and that
most of the people think it's funny, but see, you see here when you use it like this. In the beginning, you go deep down like this.
Yeah.
To make the earth soft. And so you use it to cultivate it like this, and you don't make a cut line.
Yeah.
You scramble it around, and you go in between the plant, around the plant from the same size here, and you can touch the plant without hurt the plant, and you come the whole way around. Yeah, so you should also use a hand for the weeds around the plant. So in between the carrots you can use the other end, like this, and come in between, and then you can touch this, you can touch the carrot, and you can take one carrot
and you do this
on the line,
So, two reasons for doing this round there. One is to get rid of weeds, and the other is to
cultivating the earth, without cutting it, because it's a round wire. And so you have another side, this copper. Copper, and the copper have another material in the most of the time you use iron.
You don't think there's a touch of irony in the name of that stall, do you? Things haven't changed since the 60s in some parts of the world, as you can see.
Does that look okay? Yeah. That's what's dirty.
Now that's what I'm talking about. So how long have you been working with the Green Economics Institute?
I've just started this summer doing some work for the Green Economics, helping with their books and finding out about helping, because we're organising a conference at Oxford, which Bradley knows a bit more about. We're doing training courses as well, people to learn about sustainable development in the third world and the first world as well, and
brilliant.
And the economy. And we've produced a series of books, and
I'll make sure I get your website and your email address available so anyone can read that. That's greeneconomics.org.uk and greeneconomicsinstitute@yahoo.com. Okay, so you got some cool stuff there. What was your personal motivation to be involved with this?
From a personal point of view, I've done economics modules at university, and the whole concept of economics as we know it needs to be changed because it's unsustainable. The whole idea of consumption, keep the growth of the economies at the expense of the environment and the biodiversity isn't going to be sustained for the future generations. And if I have children, I don't want them to suffer because of what I've done in my what I want to be able to make a change, make a difference. And through this institute we produce we've got a journal which we produce and it has a wide readership, and I think we're getting the message out there. Let's go to conferences. Rio 20, our CEO has been met the Chinese Prime Minister and some senior figures in Sweden and Norway.
Cool.
And just getting the message out there that renewables and green economy is the way of the future. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, my point of view is that the easy to access oil is gone. We don't have that anymore.
No.
We need to use remaining oil to make materials. We've got to find new ways of doing things as far as energy and food is concerned, because there's going to be more food insecurity and fuel insecurity even in the Western world. And so something has seriously got to be done. So obviously you're carrying the message. I'd encourage you to carry on doing so. Would you like to say a few words, sir? Well, your motivation, why you're here, what it is you're trying to promote, and the basic message that you're trying to get out to the world.
Just for the same reasons that Adam said, really. I mean, our institute focuses on highlighting the shortcomings of neoliberal economics. We need to make things, as he said, more sustainable. Yeah.
Hi there. Okay, so tell me, stand there with a lump of what looks like earth placed upon it. Tell me, what is the importance of the lump of earth and what it is you're promoting today?
I'm here for Earth Building UK. We're a national body for the UK dealing with all aspects of earth building, from car tyre walls through cob, adobe, rammed earth, plasters, the whole spectrum of building materials which are not fired, which have not been burnt. Cement's a very big polluter, it's 10% of our carbon emissions globally, and we believe that since there's a range of buildings here up to 7 stories high in Germany that's 190 years old, that there's actually not really any necessity to be using concrete at anything like the levels that we do as a species. And of course there's earth building everywhere. There's earth building in the UK, all the way across Europe and across the rest of the world, and yet people know very little about it. And so the effort of Earth Building UK is to get people to share information and put that information out to make it available.
Great.
In terms of off-grid living, as a company, I run a small company building with rammed earth, and this block here is rammed earth, and the formwork here is a very simple type of formwork made from scaffold planks. But we've made lots of different types of formwork in lots of different ways, and we've used commercial building formwork and so on. And we've worked on a number of projects that have been off-grid, or that are off-grid. And using earth in this respect is about using mass which absorbs heat and holds heat, and it's then insulated. Hopefully it will also be insulated so that it doesn't lose heat out of the outside, and you've then got a battery for heat.
Okay, but one of the things that my viewers would be interested in is the fact that this technology is being used today in the UK and being promoted in the Western world.
And in our kind of economic climate, we also know that those buildings hold their value very well. And yet there's this strange thing where we feel that it's not for us and it doesn't belong here and it can't work. So I guess Earth Building UK and Ramcast as a company, we're trying to overturn some of those misapprehensions about what is possible with Earth. As I said, we're trying to use mass as a way of collecting and holding and just more evenly distributing heat and cold, so that you don't actually require an air conditioning unit, you don't require an active heating unit.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I see your stand here seems to be very geared towards alternative technology, predominantly solar energy. So what is it that got you into this stuff?
Well, mixture between climate change, concerns about climate change, and energy security really in the UK. Fossil fuels are running out, so it's not peak oil. Renewable energy in general, but solar's a nice industry to get into, easy for people to get involved in. very suitable to a lot of properties in the UK.
Okay, that's great. Now, is there some kind of like major financial benefit that people can get through being, let's say, someone who is currently on the grid but wants to try and reduce their grid dependence?
Yes, well, I mean, solar can obviously generate most of your energy, or if not all of your energy needs, certainly in the daytime. If you want to get off-grid, you'd need storage as well. You'd probably need battery backup. Tends not to be that common at the moment, but it's getting more common. Battery technology is improving and it's reducing in price. So solar and a battery pack would probably get you off-grid. No problems.
And that's something you could help people with, I guess.
We certainly install solar panels. Yeah, like I said, at the moment batteries tend not to be that common. Not that many power cuts in the UK at the moment, but if in principle you don't want to buy energy from six energy companies for whatever reasons, could be political or environmental, a good way of doing it would be to get some storage and go off the grid.
Okay, absolutely fascinating. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Hi, my name's Robin Oakey. I'm a builder by trade, building designer. And a few years ago, we were asked to do green roofing about 8 years ago. And we started looking at how green roofs were done. And mainly they were done with German systems, plastic. How long are we going to go for? German systems which were made out of plastic trays, and we started looking at it and studying it, but found it maybe not necessary to do. So, from our farming background, we used to use wool carpet fibre as called shoddy, straight from the carpet manufacturers, as a fertiliser. And over the years we used to use it as a fertiliser, very, very good. And back in the 70s the Environment Agency stopped it because the carpet industry put a chemical in there as a moth killer, and also added polypropylenes.
Right.
Polypropylenes and nylon. So the Environment Agency and DEFRA stopped the agricultural use of carpet fibre. Now, there was no reason that I couldn't use carpet fibre on a roof, green roof. So I got together with the carpet industry and got through with the carpet industry, and we started some trials.
So let me get this straight. What you've got there is essentially a variety of carpet fibre which is acceptable for a green roof, and you're actually growing plants in the fibre itself.
Yes.
And using that as a means to retain water, retain heat.
And provide nutrients through many years.
Gosh.
The wool fibre will actually, start breaking down and produce nitrogens on a very, in a slow release. And over many, many years, the actual polypropylenes will break down as well. And being a hydrocarbon, which is basically what we're putting on our fields as a fertiliser, they will break down into nitrogens as well, and fertilisers. And then we've got pretty much a very, very long longevity for the actual growing medium. So this product will last for many, many years on a roof.
So that's something that we would traditionally be putting into landfill and basically destroying the planet. Okay, and possibly polluting the water supply as well. But if put onto a green roof, it then becomes useful and actually helps to take carbon out of the environment as well.
Well, it's actually been said that 1 tonne of carpet waste that goes into landfill, if it's taken out of the system and recycled, is the equivalent of taking 1.5 small cars off the road a year.
It's fascinating.
Because of the energy loss and also the breakdown of the materials into methane and so forth. So by recycling it and putting it back to nature, where you sheep in Wales are eating grass, which is taking its nutrients from the earth, putting it into wool on the back of the sheep. We take it, put it into carpets, and then I want to put it back onto a roof. So instead of producing CO2, it will actually take out the CO2 in the air and produce a little bit of oxygen, depending on the plants that's grown in it.
And then presumably you could
then it will break down into soils in many years' time. So it's a nice full loop recycle.
Okay.
Okay, so basically Ecova is all ecological products and are made with plants and minerals. The difference is there's no petrochemicals or phosphates or synthetics in there.
Brilliant.
So it means that the products are sustainable. So at the start you can regrow them. We're not using any of the oil derivatives basically, which is non-sustainable. And it means at the other end of the scale they biodegrade comprehensively, usually within around 24 hours. So they just have minimum impact on the environment. So that's the products themselves. So some of the selection there.
Great. So essentially, if someone was, let's say they'd chosen to go off-grid, they've got their own water supply, they have their own vegetables that they're growing in their own garden or on their own land. Essentially, if the chemicals biodegrade very quickly, let's say within 24 hours, it wouldn't actually damage the plants at all, and you'd still be able to eat the food if you'd taken your washing up liquid in your washing up liquid water and poured it onto your garden.
Anything too oily in the water, obviously.
Right.
It's like a general clean. You can use your grey water to water things. Yeah, that's
right.
Fine.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi there. We are introducing people today to soap nuts, which are the most natural and the cheapest way possible of washing your clothes. Soap nuts are relatives of the lychee fruit. They've been using soap nuts for hundreds of years in places like India and China to clean their skin, their hair and their clothes. So it's not something that's just sort of come to existence now. All you do is take 5 shells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put them into a little bag, which comes inside every tube. Tie a knot in the bag and then put the bag inside the washing machine with your clothes, okay? Now what happens as the machine, you don't have to use a machine, you can use hand wash, sink, bucket, river, they don't pollute the water system. As the water circulates amongst the soap nuts, it releases a natural soap called saponin. All I've got in here is water and a couple of shells, and you can see how much soap they generate. Now that soap acts as a natural surfactant, so it breaks down the dirt, the grease, the grime from your clothes.
Okay, so how many times could you use 5 soap nuts?
5 soap nuts can be reused 4 times, 4 wash loads.
Okay, and what is the retail value of, let's say, 5 soap nuts?
5 soap nuts? Well, they come in tubes that size, 55 washes for £6. So it works out to about, for a full load, it works out to about 6 pence per wash. Right, so they're extremely cheap.
Right, now essentially if you were to want to move towards off-grid living, you had your own water supply, let's say a large container in the garden, that's where you keep your water. Now would it be possible to then use the water that's gone through your washing machine or your hand washing and then put that onto your garden without damaging your food plants? Okay, so biodegrades quickly.
A lot of our customers actually recycle their used water to water their garden. In fact, the soap nut liquid contains antimicrobial properties, so it deters green fly, it deters various fleas and pests away, even to some degree things like slugs. So it helps to keep your garden free of pests. So growing your own fruit, your own vegetation is actually good for that as well.
So cleans your socks and keeps the slugs away. Okay, that's what soapnuts.co.uk. Okay, well thank you very much, Mr. Soapnuts.co.uk. You saved the planet. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Krag from Know Your Planet, and I'm here today at the London Green Fair to show some of the equipment that we sell through our shop and company Know Your Planet. Know Your Planet is a company that sells PV components to resellers, private people, DIY. We also do projects in Africa where we're trying to empower people by teaching them how to build mobile phone chargers. We're in phase 2 of the project where we're going to be building a school in January, and we've already launched a shop in Soy, Kenya. And I've brought a few bits of gear with me here. Like this is quite a nice piece of equipment. This is FlexMax FM60. This can handle 60 amps current going to battery bank. It's a very, very serious piece of kit. It's got 5 years warranty.
Nice.
Brought other pieces of equipment too, like the Soltronic MPPT, which is 600 watt MPPT. I've measured and tested this one here. Its efficiency is incredibly high.
What kind of rate would you give it? What kind of like maximum voltages or wattage can you do?
Maximum voltage is 75 volts DC. It's 20 amp output maximum, and then we have quite common Stecker MPPT, Solarix, same specification more or less as Soltronic. But Soltronic's nice because it's got good digital display. And another component here, for example, the Mastervolt 600, which is one of the smallest grid tie inverters that are going with installs. So this tends to be quite this inverter is used for the minimum entry level grid tie inverter system.
So what kind of like power would this particular grid tie inverter handle?
That handles just above 600 volts.
That's good.
So 2 to 3 panels. In the voltage range, it's up in, I think it's 50 to 150 volts. We also sell all of these specialized components, like this is a 60 amp DC circuit breaker, for example.
Right.
This is the kind of cable that you would use to tie really powerful battery banks together. It's got a really thick gauge. This is the kind of stuff that would go with giant component like this one here. Something else we do, we're probably one of the only companies in Europe, is we sell the solar cells themselves. So this is actually a 1/2 volt 8 amp solar cell.
8 amp?
Yeah,
nice.
8 amp.
So you don't actually need many of them to make a very good panel. I mean, I've handled some cells, and this one actually feels more durable than some of the other ones that I've been... I mean, I have made my own photovoltaic panels from broken or recycled or reclaimed cells, and they were so fragile that you could breathe on them and they could sneeze. But these ones there seem a lot more durable for someone who's making their own.
Yeah, it depends really on the quality of the cell that you're buying in the first place. If you're buying a second-hand cell, you can have microfractures inside them, so although it looks like the cell is complete, it's actually falling apart. But the only thing that's holding it together is the lamination at the top of the cell and the aluminium on the back of it.
Yeah.
So, but we sell a whole range of cells from perfect to almost powder.
Okay, excellent. Okay everybody, a groovy and interesting different use for a pallet. A vertical garden or pot stand for a window basket and any other pots, so you can have like your fruit, vegetables and flowers kind of like sprouting out of wood. And here's a bit of footage for anyone out there who just likes cute fluffy farmyard animals. Well, feathery rather than fluffy, but never mind.
Hi there, my name's Green Steve and I run a blog called greensteve.com. It started off as just a personal blog talking about how I'm reducing my own carbon footprint, and it spiraled out of control, so now I blog about everything. I blog about sustainable living, eco-friendly products, renewable energy, all sorts of things like that. I especially have an interest in how people can reduce their carbon footprint without actually having to change their habits too much. And one of the ways I'm hoping to do that is to create a site which allows people to come along, click on, say they're shopping at Amazon.com, they click on a link to Amazon, I'll get paid a small commission, I take that commission and I plough it into carbon offsetting credits. And they might do projects in Africa or Asia, and they'll do small solar panel installations for schools in Africa so they can power their schools. They might do cleaner burning wood stoves so they don't use as much charcoal or cut as many trees. And all sorts of things like that, basically.
Right, okay, so that would involve like educating people in like wood gas stoves or possibly even their own solar creation and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
but essentially as far as the information which you're providing, I mean, you mentioned the possibility of people not changing their lifestyle too much. One of the reasons people avoid, let's say, off-grid living is because they're very comfortable with just like turning on a light switch or turning on the gas off or whatever. So if there's ways in which people could get more information about how to basically be more green, environmentally friendly without changing their life, that's essentially what people in the 21st century who don't want to go off-grid could still actually use to just try and help out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I try to educate and motivate. I think a lot of people in the general public are not 100% sure what they should be doing to live a greener lifestyle. So that my blog, one of the main purposes is to teach people, is to educate people. What are the ways to reduce the carbon footprint? What are the best ways? What are the easiest ways? What are the hardest ways? Which ones should you choose? What's best for you? Because everyone's different and everyone will have their own ideas, their own feelings, and their own differences, you know. So that's basically me, and I'm hoping I make a difference. One little bit at a time.
And it's greensteve.com, is that right?
Greensteve.com, yep.
Okay.
Follow me on Twitter or Facebook.
Alright, that's splendid, or indeed on the t-shirt. Thank you very much. Standalone solar tracking array, 80 watts approximate cost, solar panels 120, motor 40, tracking controller 40, stand 25, charge controller 40, battery motor 90, bits and pieces 100, 500 pounds. Can be mounted on a scaffold pole or satellite dish mount. It's beautiful, ain't it? The music you can hear is being powered by this amazing solar array. Man, wow. All of it powered by this solar array. That's what I call beautiful.